What's up, y'all? You rocking with Moochie, and this is Moochilla's review. So hit the hammer, cause you came through. And if you finding my channel for the first time, please like, share, and subscribe. And what's up, y'all? It's Moochie. I'm back with another video. I am talking about P-Valley, and this is episode 3, and the name of the episode is The Dirty Dozen. This episode last left off with Mercedes falling, and then we have Roulette and Whisper, and are they going to take over the scene? So let's get into it. And so this episode starts out with Roulette, and she is breaking all the rules, all the Clifford's rules, that is. She's taking private dances, and she's doing more than that she should be doing in private dances. You're not supposed to be giving no head in no private dances. I don't care how much money the person offers you, because now you officially became a hoe. So dude offers her a stack of money, and she's willing to do anything. Meanwhile, Mercedes is making her own way. She's making her own way to make her own deals to get one of her regulars to sponsor her. So she's going to go through with that deal that Coach proposed to her last season. He proposed this to her last season with a great amount of money and a condo, and it's going to be on a regular basis that she sees him. But she wants to make sure his wife is on board with this situation. So she is making sure she does this to keep her dance studio open. Terica drives herself to Pastor Woodbine's food bank, and she pulled up there like skirt, like you could tell it's somebody that don't know how to drive. Pastor Woodbine gets called there because she's asking for more than one box. So she sees that it's Terica, and she wants to know where's her mother and what's going on. And she says that she's still sleeping. And Pastor Woodbine sees the look on Terica's face, and she says, "You look like Mercedes when you lie." Little Murder in Mississippi are on tour, so they make a pit stop at a gas station. And the clerk looks like she's terrified of the crew, of Big Teak and Little Murder, because they have masks on. So she feels like she's going to get robbed. Thanks to Mississippi coming out of that bathroom, because things could have went sideways. So once the clerk sees they're not a threat, they go outside, they take pictures for the gram. Little Murder in Mississippi is making this angle work that they're a couple. So this is working for them right now. Who sees the pictures on the gram? Uncle Clifford. And he looks at it, and he looks at them like they're having a good time. And Autumn is like, maybe they could come make a stop here. And she's like, no, Mississippi, bye, or whatever she said, but it was catching. Uncle Cliff and Autumn did have a back and forth about whose fault it was as far as Mercedes being put on that pole too soon, taking a percentage of the blame. And she even put some blame on herself because she left and didn't stay at the Pink that night when everything happened. So Autumn gives in and gives her a percentage back of the Pink, and they walk away with leaving Big Bone as they DJ. Next, Wayne Kyle shows up at the pastor's chicken dinner, and they are talking about him running for office, and he wants to have these pastors put their congregations behind him so he can win this election that's coming up. And Pastor Woodbine stands up, and she's totally against it, lets them know that they shouldn't be doing things of this nature. Pastor Woodbine, that girl gonna give Wayne Kyle a run for his money, and she's not taking no crap for none of these men. And also, she let them know y'all put too much trust in these white people, and the chicken is dry. So they got Miss Mississippi's dressing room laid out with chocolate and strawberries and champagne and all that good stuff. And Lil Murder like, how come I ain't got no strawberries? Rome takes pictures for the gram, posts it, and Keyshawn, aka Mississippi, is kind of nervous about it being posted, but she likes how much views it's getting. So now she's kind of afraid if Derek is going to see these pictures and stuff like that. They performed, their performance was on point. I even liked the video that they did as the backdrop, and it was really cool. So Mercedes meets up with Coach, and Coach delivers. It's a nice condo. Mercedes meets Coach's wife, Farrah, and at first they don't hit it off because Farrah is kind of cold towards her. And who wouldn't be in a situation like this? But they work out the details. She has to sign these contracts and an NDA, and they're going to get on to business. Did y'all see Woody rub hand sanitizer on his face like it was aftershave? That was crazy. Pico comes in. Pico a hater, y'all. He sees that Lil Murda's getting all this attention, and he's gonna try to expose Little Murda to Rome. Will Pico expose Little Murda? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. So Farrah, Coach, and Mercedes basically have a breaking the ice conversation before things pop off. Mercedes admires a photograph of the coach that's on the wall. Coach tells Mercedes that Farrah took those pictures when she used to be a photographer. And she's like, I still am a photographer. And he's like, that's right, baby. But Mercedes takes it to the next level, and she tells why and how she admires the photograph and interprets it. And Farrah loves the way she interpreted the photograph. This kind of breaks the ice with them. And then she was like, why is it so important that you spoke to me? And it was because she still feels like she still feels that she has morals. And this was something that she never did before, and Farrah has never done this either. She's never met anybody that her husband has messed around with. Coach is happy that they're getting along, and they're getting ready for the Mercedes experience. Farrah stays to watch it, and she's mesmerized by it. She's mesmerized how Mercedes eloquently worked the pole. She didn't do what she usually do in a club. She did it in a sensual way where a female would like it. Andre speaks with Brittany, and he tells her that the Will's reading has gotten pushed back, so he will have to stay in Chucalissa a little longer. And he doesn't even sound disappointed about it. Brittany even went a step further and got Andre a job with her father, and he respectfully declined. Not only did Coach experience the full Mercedes experience, so did Farrah. While the three of them are intertwined, Mercedes' phone went off and it's Terica. But now it's Terica's phone, but the sheriff is on the other line saying that she's arrested for underage driving, and she's driving around her mother in the back seat, passed out drunk. So they want her to get picked up before she goes to the police station, because that's no place for a girl to be. Meanwhile, Mississippi and the crew is posting for the gram and enjoying the night celebrations. And all of a sudden, it's a girl that comes up that's trying to get at Little Murda, and Big T stops her. Pico and Big T get into it, and it looked like to me Big T was handling his business, fighting him, and Pico got his behind whipped again. Shots rang out, and everybody dispersed. The girls at the Pink see all of this going down, and they, of course, blame Mississippi for the drama. Next, we see Roulette. She's pissed because, she got her period or whatever the case may be. Whisper mentions something about their cycles linking up, and she gives her a tampon and some booger sugar. So now we see her take a hit of the booger sugar, even though Whisper ain't wash her hands and Roulette ain't change her G-string, and she gonna go out there and dance, and she high and everything. So she's high. Now it's drugs in the Pink. All of this wasn't in there before, y'all. Duffy is broken up about breaking up with Gidget, and Big L tells him to come inside and look at this pussy. So Whisper and Roulette are the headliners of the club now since Mercedes is out. Roulette was on some crazy stuff. She was flashing people her breasts. You know, you're not just supposed to show your breasts there. Other than that, the show was good. It was a lot of money being thrown on the stage. After their performance, they go outside and they see Duffy and Big L, and it looks like there's some sort of connection with Duffy and Roulette. This girl used a switchblade to pick something out of Duffy's teeth. Shell is drunk, she's inebriated, passed out. Mercedes uses the water hose to sober her up. And they have a conversation that needed to be had. Now, she's like, you had my child driving your drunk self around. Shell mentions that Cortez was the one that wanted to make sure Terica never went back to Mercedes. And she kept this promise to her husband Cortez. Terica overhears everything. How her father did not want her to go back to Mercedes. Also, how Mercedes was only 15 years old when she had her. Next, we add a section in the pink where dude is asking for a BJ because his friend got one. And you know who he's talking about, the one that got it from Roulette. But the other girl is letting him know, look, we don't do that here. And she walked off. She wasn't having it. Uncle Clifford and Autumn are discussing the offer that Corbin made to buy the pink. And she still wants to hold out. She wants to hold out because she feels like the offer is not big enough. And she basically tells him that it's not big enough and I'm not with selling it because you're not giving the pink its worth. She's staying put for now. $1 million ain't even enough. Corbin is trying to convince Andre to put some pressure on Haley to get this club. If Haley holds on to this property until the casino people come in, she can make a whole lot of money. Everybody on the outside basically thinks that Miss Mississippi and Little Murder are a couple, but on the inside, she's actually helping him write postcards to his lover, Uncle Clifford, and they go through a little teasing back and forth, and then there's a knock at the door, and it's Big Teak, and he wants to go to the store. Now, I got a bone to pick with Terica. You heard the whole conversation between Mercedes and Shell transpire, and you still got the nerve to be getting on Mercedes. I know she's angry, but little girl, you wrong. Dead wrong. We get to Big Teak and Little Murder, and he tells the story about how he saved Little Murder's life. And it seems like these two were lovers in the past. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Pastor Woodbine, a hustler. She got her vape pen, her money counter, and she's getting money during this pandemic. But you know what? The mayor Kyle done shut her down with the sheriff. And she's like, you done F with the wrong B. So now we get to the last scene where we see Clifford overlooking all his postcards. And it's love and happiness. So this is a good episode to me. I like the way this ended because it's postcards from everywhere that Little Murder stopped that he's thinking about her. But then the last scene where we see Roulette sees that Big L and Duffy is doing some finagling and you know they got some drugs coming in the building. And she sees all of that and she prostituting herself. So that was my review of P-Valley, The Dirty Dozens. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the hammer because you came by. Let me know what y'all think in the comments and tune in for my future videos. Talk to y'all soon. Later. Ew.